Okay. So what I want to do, I want to give you access to I want to give access to my just a second. Let me yeah. So I want to give you access to my AWS account. Now there is a one way which I can give you access, and that is I can share my user ID and password. So what I have, what I have, I've created an ID and user ID and password directly with AWS, and that ID and password I can share with you. But you know, guys, that is a root access. So in simple way, if I say using that account, that using that ID and password, you can literally create any resources anywhere in the whole AWS web services. There's no limit for it. And ultimately, whatever you do, that will be added to the billings, and accordingly, you'll have to pay for it. Okay, let's put it in a different context. Now, your organizations have gone to AWS and they created an account. They have created an account, and after that account, they have created, they got a user email ID and password. So, are they going to share the same email ID and password to everyone? What do you think? What do you think? Are they going to share the same email ID and password to all of their hundreds and hundreds of employees, or they will do something else? Tell me. Something else. So what they will say, hey, there are multiple projects, and each, let's say there in your organization there are 10 projects running, and each projects they have a dev team, QA team, operations team, IT team, this team, that team, and all stuff like that. Correct? So they will not give that root access. That's called root access. They will not give the root access. What they will do, they will create a users and password just to access your account with a limited privileges, limited access. Now the question is, what as a, let's say, your organization who has a root access, what they will do? So you know what they will do? They will create your user account with the help of IAM. In a detailed way, we call it identity and access management. That means if I have access to all the services of AWS using the root account, but I don't want you to access everything from my account. I want to give you only few services access. So how can you control? So that you can control through IAM. Okay. So here, using the managed AWS IAM user and their access, we can manage the control the access. You can also use the IAM roles for their permissions, and you can also use the federated user and their permissions. So there are three ways. I am focusing on only on IAM users. So IAM has multiple features. Now, how do you log in actually? So you have to specify, see, I need to specify only email ID and password, mind it. I need to specify only user ID and password, email ID and password, but you need to specify to log into my account, you need to specify account ID also, username and password. Three things, because you will be accessing to my account. So using the IAM, I'll be creating user ID and password, and I'll giving it to you. And also I will set certain permissions to that user account. Okay, so now the question is, how can you access AWS? So using console you can access, and you can use API also for that case. This is the API. Okay. Now API and all I'll discuss at the end of it because that will be too early to talk about. But in a simple way, what I'm trying to do, I have a root access account of AWS. I because of process issues, I'm not going to share with you. Rather, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an account using IAM, and that account using that you can log into AWS and you can create a resources. Understood now? Understood now? Okay. Now the question is, in my organization, I have a 200 people. Right now, we have only 6, 7 people, I guess. But in real scenario, we'll have a 200 people. So how do I manage those users? So same way here, we have a concept called group. So we have a group, we create a group, and inside that we create a users, and each user is a part of the group, and that group will get some access. So yes, individual user also you can give a certain access, but managing through the group is become easier actually. So you do, instead of working with each and every user, you just add him to the group and manage the permission of the group. Okay. Now what access? So in AWS we call it a policies. This is called authorization. What access? So you can say this is the policy. Policies are JSON document to describe permission, and you can assign to users, groups, and role. So see, users you understand, group you understand. What is a role actually here? So guys, the role here you should not correlate with the role of access. Here, understand this way. Let's say you as an individual, as a human being, wants to access AWS, then you will use IAM user. But sometimes what happens that one service of AWS wants to access the another service of AWS. Please understand that. Very simple way I'm putting up. One service of AWS wants to access the another service of AWS. So how we do that? So that we do through the roles. Are you understanding all of you? What is the roles? So here, whatever the policies, which is nothing but access, you assign to user or group or roles, they will get the access. So here what we have understood as part of the IAM, IAM means Identity and Access Management, we have a user, we have a group, we have a roles, we have a policy. 4 elements for time being, we have it. Now this is the example of policy. See, you should focus on it to try to understand because I'm going to use it. So here what we are saying, hey, there are 2 things. You see that here, sit, and there are some actions, there are some effects, there's some resources, and there's some conditions. Okay, so resources means what resources? Star means all resources of AWS. Effect means allow or deny. Action is what they are supposed to do on that all resources. So they should do those actions. But here you have some condition like these people, only this IP address should be allowed, something like that. Here in the second thing you see, there is one resources, actions, which is get object, effect allow to that particular bucket. What is a bucket? I'll show you. So this is the one policy you created. I'll create a policy in front of you. So you'll have some visibility. So what to do? IAM user assigned with IAM policy. IAM policy you can assign to the IAM group or roles also. Okay, so policy is just important. What access you'll have, that is decided. You can assign that to roles also. Okay, now we have already discussed about the roles, so I think you will not get stuck. So an IAM role uses its policy. An IAM role has no associated credentials. IAM users, applications, and services may assume IAM roles. Remember. Now, if you see that here, IAM user who's assuming the policies, IAM group, which is assuming also the policies, assigning of the policies. Here IAM user, using the roles you can assume the roles access. Here hardly we use the IAM user for roles. We use most of the time AWS resources. And from one resources to another resources, you want to use it. Okay, so now I'll not complicate with the remaining features and I will move on to the demo. So guys, any questions so far? Hello? Any questions so far, guys? Okay, so guys, what I'm going to do? So I am going to give access to each one of you, and accordingly, we'll take it further. So let me log into AWS. I had logged in actually somewhere here. Yeah. So here. Okay, so let me close the remaining window. This will be easier. Now, so before me showing you how to create an access, I will go and go to IAM. So where to go IAM? So IAM is a global services, so don't need to select any regions for it. So IAM, and here it is. Now, if you want to browse it, please go to security. Here, security, identity, and compliance, and click on it. And here, these many things you get it. You have so many services. Focus on IAM only now. And here, left side, you must see that. See here. So look at my screen very carefully. I'm doing for you. So you have to recall this. See here. Here you have a users group. Here you have users. Here you have roles. And here you have policy. Only 4 things right now you need to focus. So first thing what I should do, I should create some group, add policies into it, and then add some users into it. Are you understanding all of you? Here users group, users, roles, policies. All of you? Okay. Now what I will do, I will go ahead and first create a users group. So I have a few groups already existed. I'm creating one group, and this group is called training. Now I should add some users, but right now I don't have a users, so I'll just ignore it. I should attach some permissions. So here I can attach a permission. So for timing, what access I want to give it to you? So I want to give it to you EC2. So I'll search for EC2 and enter. Now, if I see that here you have so many policies, group of policies, which will help you to get the access of EC2. Now this is the one which I am wanting. By the way, this is a group of policies. Here, if you see, this is the JSON file for this. Allow, allow, allow all this thing. So here you can give these permissions, which called Amazon EC2 full access, and little go down, and here you see create a group. So I'm creating a group with the access of EC2 full access created. Now I should go and check this training group, and here you see the permissions. All these permissions you got added. By the way, if you want to add more permissions, here add a more permission, attach policy, or create inline policies also you can do. Now I will go ahead here, users, and here I'm going to create one users. So here I'm going to create one users, which is called, I'm calling training itself. So group name and the username is training. So here training. Now this username, you want to give access to the console or programmatic. So right now I'm going to give access to console. Now what is the password for it? So I'll just set a password, and that should be here, or you can in fact auto generate also. And here it says user must create a password, a new password. I'm disabling it. Next, permission. Now permissions you can set here, but I want to add him as a part of the group, which is called training, and tag it. Here name, and here is for the training. You can give it, this is optional by the way. And next, this is the stuff, and then created users. That's all. So guys, here, this is the password. I got it. Auto-generated password. And user is this one. And done. Now this access you have been given EC2 full access, which we will do the demo next. So guys, so far so clear? All of you understood this? All of you? Okay, so now I have created a IAM user. Now the roles basically is for the services which is being used between the two AWS services. So right now I don't need it, but here you know guys, you have a policy which you have used it. One of the policy which was used is EC2 full access, which is here. But by the way, you can create your own policies also. It's a JSON file. You can create your own policies and give access to this. By the way, I have given access EC2 full access, and that access is applicable for all the regions actually. That means this user, a training user, can access all of my resources in every regions. Now I want to provide it. What? I want to assign only for one user or only for one region. So what do we do in this case? So in this case, you can do what? Open this and modify this file actually. Modify this file. Okay. Modify this file. Let me show you here. So can you see my screen, all of you, right? See here. This is a JSON file, and I want to only make sure that people should be able to get only access to only one regions. So I can modify this, I can copy this, I can change it whatever I wanted and stuff like that. Okay, or I can create from the scratch also. Now the question is, how do I manage it? So I'll go to AWS IAM policies for one region. Okay, and here you see easy way to control access to AWS region using IAM. And here this is the document. So this you will have a lot of ways to write a policies. Okay, right now this is the one policy I got it, and what they are saying, hey, see, look at this, read this code, and here you are saying, let me help you to understand. Here they're saying, hey, you can do this kind of actions. These are the things which is allowed. These are the resources. These are the regions here and stuff like that. And this is the rule. Okay, so for this particular rule or this particular region, this will be allowed. All this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add a conditions in the same code. So here you have a condition. See here. Conditions. What are the things you can do? Conditions string equal to, these are the service name. So I'm going to use something which is called this one. So here condition string equal to AWS region, this one. So I have to use it very carefully, and I'm going to use it this one only. Okay, and this is the ending point. I think this one. I should open up the Notepad++. It will be easier for me to see the ending point and closing point. So here, and this is the one, and here now I'm going to add one more condition, which is here. So I'm copying only this one and go to here and see the conditions. Here is the closing. So I should add here. Did you understand that, all of you? So there's a condition string equal to all this thing, and here string equals, which is the two conditions, and here. In fact, you know what? You can also add here also. So if you think no, this is not here, so you can add here also. Are you understanding? Hello? Yeah. So this is the way I created. These are the two string equal. This is all service name, and this all things. So what is the region name? EU Central 1. Now EU Central 1, which is which region? So here, if you see that, this is the EU means European Union, and Central 1 means Frankfurt. But what I want everyone to use US East 2 Ohio. So for that region, US East -2. So I'm expecting all of you to get access to US East 2. So far you understand that how do you control this policy and how do you write? Again, it required little bit of practice. It's a JSON file, but this is a more or less you can do that. Understood now? So now what I'm going to do, guys, I will go to IAM, and here I'll go to the policies, and here I'll create a new policies, and here I will say JSON. You can create a visual editor also, but I did not complicate it here, and then this one. Okay. Now there is a problem here. There's a one error. It says this one and this one is a problem. So what I will do to avoid this, this is a closing. So here I will keep it, and this one I will delete this, and here you can have a problem of comma. So here you got two string, right? So if you give the comma, it will become a 2. That's all. So here I should name it, right? So I should name it. So here next tag name, and this I'm going to make it photocus and EC2 all, and what region I forgot that. This. Okay. So I'm giving a name, and next review the same name, description, and these are the access you get it, and okay, and create policy. Did you understand that, all of you? How to work with IAM, all of you? Now what you have to do, you have to go to the user group and training. Now I don't need this permission actually, because I created my own, right? So here what I'm going to do, I am going to attach the policy and search for it. Here, add a permissions, and here it is. Now I added a permission. Now this one, I will delete this because it's a duplicate. Done. So now I just did the trick, and all this access you have here. Are you understanding now? Any questions? Any confusion? Okay. So now the question is, how do we access it? So remember, this is the username and password, and you need my account key. So how do you get a key? So for that, I'll give you that access. This is my account key. Okay. So if you come here, this is the account key. Now where to go? So go to the different browser. Here, this is the browser, and I will click AWS console. I'll enter it. I'll click on this management console, and here sign in. And now here is the root user. Are you the root user? No. Are you the IAM user? Yes. So here you have to give the your account ID. So what is account ID? Account ID is this one, and click next. And here you have to give the IAM user. What is IAM user? Training. Here, and what is the password? Here it is. And here and sign. Don't save it. And guys, here you have access to it. So now this is the one. Did you understand, all of you? Any questions, any doubts? All of you? Okay, now guys, what I'm doing right now, look at this here. You are in Mumbai region. Can I do one thing? Can I go and now create a EC2 instance, which is the virtual machines? Click here. I'm just creating in the Mumbai region, and launch instance. And here I'll go for the old screen actually. Okay, here and here, only one instance, 8 GB. I'll just talk about this one. I'm just testing this. Okay, so here it worked actually. So this means the access which I created, this policies, I need to check this has some problem, and the problem is I need to check actually here. So I'll just check in little bit in offline and see that what is the things which I missed out. I think I need to check this line, resources star. I'll just check. So this changes policy did not work, but yes, you were able to do that. I was just checking that, and I was able to create it. So I should not be able to create it in Mumbai region, but unfortunately I got this. So this is the instance I created, and I'm going to terminate it. Okay, so what we decided, we will work on Ohio region, which is a US East 2, and accordingly we'll decide this. So I'm going to fix this code in some time. Must be some issues with some specifications, and get it done. So overall, did you understand that how to work with IAM, users, groups, policies, and how do we assign the access and all? Okay, so now wait a second. Yeah, correct. So we'll work with the Ohio region and then get going. Now, guys, I'm going to show you how to create an instance in a step-by-step fashion. So remember that till I fix that issues, please do not work in any other regions. And one more request to all of you, I am giving you access to my personal AWS accounts. So I hope you will not destroy something which you don't know. So request you all to work with Ohio, so that way I will not have any troubles accordingly. Okay, so not in Mumbai, not in other region, so that way I'll not have any problem. All of you understood this?
Hello everyone, if you would like to access the remaining videos of this playlist of 50 plus more tools which are coming under DevOps, DevSecOps, SRE, DataOps, GitOps, etc. Kindly become our channel members by clicking on the joining button. You would have access to hundreds of playlists and 1000s of videos lifetime access with this membership. Enjoy.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.